have something you believe in, and don't give up. And just know those first couple of years, especially the more you're going to have to bootstrap the company, the more you're going to have to dig in. And, it's not about the money for those first 5 years. I don't think it's really ever about the money. I think it's more about what you're trying to do and the team that you build and your customers, right? Like making your customers' lives better. And getting that positive feedback when you're doing a good job for people and they're like, man, this is awesome. Thank you. That's the fuel that will keep you going.
Hey, this is a quick shout out from one of our awesome sponsors. Check this out. Coffee, bacon, tobacco, pine trees. Is there anything that smells better? Believe it or not, there is, and it's a fresh leather holster. If you stop by craftholsters.com, you'll open the door to a safe and comfortable carry, not only for yourself, but your entire family. Look, they've got holsters for both concealed, open carry, semi-autos, revolvers, righties, and of course, they have some holsters for you too, lefties. And all of that at a reasonable price. You got to go check them out at craftholsters.com.
Keith, you're the owner of Fun Unlimited and Carefree Boat Club of North Idaho, which I'm totally stoked to chat with you about. You also served in the Air Force and Navy. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. Thanks for having me, Erik.
Yeah, so I love to kick things off by going back a bit. Where did you grow up, and what was childhood like for you?
I grew up in Whitefish, Montana, and
nice.
Man, it was just the ideal childhood. I had very fond memories of rolling down Main Street on my bicycle with my friends, straight out of I grew up in the mid 80s, but it might as well have been the 50s, those golden years where we were just sent outside to go and play and live and be kids. And we didn't have all of the brutal parts that we see with our kids today. I have 3 daughters. I don't know. I think you have 2 kids, correct?
Yep.
And it was
a different
awesome.
world for sure.
Yeah. Spent a lot of time, floating the Stillwater River in canoes and kayaks, and did a little bit of boating, a lot of fishing. So it was a very blessed childhood.
I grew up in Stevensville, Montana, actually. So I lived there for a couple of years, but it was the same sort of thing. Like, get outside, get dirty. We'd sneak out through the guy's property behind us and hit the Bitterroot River and, do the jump off the Bell Crossing Bridge there and lived out there. And it was just, that was the best of times, right? It was, you come home from when the street lights go on. So
yeah, reminiscing about that kind of makes me want to move to a small town somewhere, anywhere.
Sure.
Where we're just a little bit more removed and off the grid. And
Now, for you, I know that you served in the Navy, you served in the Air Force. Cara has a graphic design background. Like, how did you get into this entrepreneur background, or how did you get into this entrepreneur thing? And was there someone that kind of influenced you to go into the entrepreneur thing?
Good question. Yeah, so I think it's a little bit in my blood. I've always just, even at a young age, I was dreaming up, inventions and, even submitting, the whole silly, get your thing patented, ideas. And so I have family back in the Flathead Valley that a lot of, they own title companies and real estate on my mother's side. So, but I think there might be a genetic factor there.
Totally.
Yeah.
Love it. Now, I want to get into Carefree Boat Club and Fun Unlimited there. For those who don't know, what is Carefree Boat Club and how does it work?
So Carefree Boat Club is an alternative to boat ownership. So if you to try to boil it down to easily understandable way to understand it would be if you were to, I don't even know, is it called 24-hour fitness anymore? Where you join the 24-hour fitness, and you can go use any 24-hour fitness anywhere in the U.S. Carefree Boat Club, very similar model. Clearly, it's a little higher price point because we're dealing with some pretty high ticket items. But for the most part, you pay a monthly subscription, and you get to go boating with a variety of boats and a variety of locations. from there, it's kind of like a country club model. You go on your phone or your computer to book your boat reservation, and the training is all kind of done up front, and so it's a little bit different than renting. So you booked your boat reservation, you show up that day, and there's no training involved. All your training is done beforehand, and so you're certified. So it's basically a high five. The staff's helping you on the boat, and off you go. So.
Oh, that's awesome! I love it. And during the summer, obviously, you guys are probably really busy. How are you guys staying busy throughout the winter? Do you guys see I'm sure you see a big dip, but how does that work as a membership? Like if you're not able to use the boat during the winter, stuff like that.
So we're a little bit unique here in that I think we're the most northerly club that doesn't have bodies of water that are frozen. So we actually keep, this year we've kept a pontoon boat and a fishing boat in the water all year. We actually have somebody out doing training right now as we speak.
That's awesome.
And then we have a lot of people that do travel, and they'll go down to Florida, California, Texas. There's now 125 locations with Carefree Boat Club that are collaborative boat clubs around the world.
Super cool. Now, for you being the owner of this, like what's the favorite boat for you to take out, and is there a favorite spot for you to jump in or drop in at here in North Idaho?
I wouldn't say I have a favorite boat. It kind of depends on my mood, right? It's almost like asking you, like, hey, what kind of music do you like? You're like, it kind of depends on my mood of the day. So that's the nice part is sometimes I want to go tear it up and I want to have, some horsepower, and I want the wake surf boat that's going to, have a super loud stereo system. Sometimes I want to go fishing, and then sometimes, probably for me, my favorite, go-to is the pontoon boats for the family day, just to chill and relax.
Sure.
But again, I really like that variety and of boats. The other kind of cool thing that we did last year is, talking about that variety, is we have boats on different bodies of water. So we can actually, in one day, and I took one boat club member out with his 3 sons last year. And in the morning, we went out in Post Falls, and him and his sons and I, we went out. We were training on the pontoon boat in the area, showed him a couple things. We came back, and then we headed up to Bayview, hopped on our sailboat. And then we went on the sailboat, we went out and went sailing around Bayview, went over to Button Hook Bay a little bit, hopped off, and then we went down to Hayden, and we were boating out on Hayden. I showed him the sandbar, showed him where to fish. And so literally in one day, we hit 3 bodies of water. And it wasn't like we were killing ourselves to do that, but that's so unique to be able to do that and that variety of boats and locations. So I actually want to, ideas are easy. Execution is hard, but one of the things I want to do this year is called the Triple Crown Challenge. And so any boat club member that can do that in one day, we'll give them a t-shirt, right? Like, I completed this Triple Crown Challenge, because it's just such a cool thing. Not many people could say that they've boated on three lakes in one day. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Love it. Living up here, there's so much body of water everywhere that we go. For you on the entrepreneur journey, you said it's kind of like built into your DNA there. What's the most important thing that you've ever learned?
Oh, well, for one, choose a good partner. And when I say partner, it's, your other half, your wife, and, or if you have a partner, but I would say definitely your partner. And for me, I'm very blessed in that Cara and I complement each other well. She actually works way harder than I do. She's kind of the grinder. I'm the visionary. And, I go run around and start a bunch of fires, and then she kind of tends to the fires that I create. So I feel really bad for her, and I'm very blessed. So, yes.
Come on. Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm coming up on 18 years of being married, so I totally understand. My wife is the one that puts out the fires for me, so. But being an entrepreneur and having a family, it can be so tough at times. Like, how do you separate the business time and the family time, or is that woven together?
For us, it's really woven together. My dream is, as the business continues to grow, the boat club grows, we can put things in place that can help us kind of have a little bit of a firewall between us and the family. I mean, right now we have, a VoIP phone system so that every time the business line rings, it rings to my personal cell phone. And, the phones are going off in our house. I feel really bad for our kids. I mean, we've been doing this 11 years now, and every year it gets to be maybe a little, especially during COVID. Things went crazy during COVID. Everybody, it was a feeding frenzy of fun. And it was great for the business, but not so great for our mental health and our family, and to have that division. So,
when it comes to being successful as an entrepreneur, though, like, what does it take to be a successful entrepreneur?
I think persistence, and stick-to-itiveness and kind of tenacity. And, I've been very fortunate again with my wife that she is really the glue that keeps this thing rolling. A lot of the things that would just be, because we make such a great team. In those first 5 years, we started this thing from our kitchen table, really, with no experience, no money, nothing, and just really wanted to make the world a better place. In that, I don't think it makes sense to own a boat and to own a travel trailer and all of that. I think there's other alternatives for people. And that was really the vision when I sat down and started the company. It took us 7 years to get to a point where we could do that. But so to answer your question, have something you believe in and don't give up. And just know those first couple of years, especially the more you're going to have to bootstrap the company, the more you're going to have to dig in. And, it's not about the money for those first 5 years. I don't think it's really ever about the money. I think it's more about what you're trying to do and the team that you build and your customers, right? Like making your customers' lives better. And getting that positive feedback when you're doing a good job for people and they're like, man, this is awesome. Thank you. That's the fuel that will keep you going.
Hey, this is a quick shout out from one of our awesome sponsors. Check this out. Thank you to Tranquil Turtle Massage. They are located right in the heart of downtown Coeur d'Alene, and Tracy is a master massage specialist and Hanu Ashiatsu trainer. Look, my wife and I go see her and her team every single month, and we walk away feeling great. Sore muscles are gone. We feel relaxed. You got to go check them out. Tell them I sent you for $25 off your massage package. Also, while you're there, make sure you check out CDA Brows Body and Ink, offering Coeur d'Alene's best tattoo brows, plasma fiberblast, tightening, and PMU services. Tell them I sent you and you'll save $100 on your tattoo brows or plasma tightening. Make sure you check out Tranquil Turtle Massage and CDA Brows Body and Ink at pnwmobilemassage.com.
I love that. It's so good, man. So good there. You talked about being persistent, and as entrepreneurs, we have to build these habits. And when you slip up on your habit and kind of get unpersistent there for a minute, how do you get it back on track?
It's nice for me. I'm a little bit spoiled that it is a seasonal business, right? And so even though we do have boats in the water, and we work really hard the 100 days of summer, in the wintertime, things definitely slow down. That lets us gives us time to recalibrate, sharpen the saw, go on vacation, decompress. So, and for me, I mean, it's pretty obvious, when the snow melts, the phone starts ringing and people are like, let's go, let's do this. It's, there's a built-in okay, it's time to get moving again. Let's go.
For you, what's the difference between success and fulfillment?
I think success would be the growth of the company. So success would be growth of the company, the ability of the cash flow of the company to then self-perpetuate itself, to get a good team of people in place, pay them a good livable wage so that they're happy. Fulfillment is the back end of that. I would say fulfillment would be when we are impacting people's lives, our customers, our staff.
No, I want to go deep with you here, though. Like, what do you think is the greatest skill that a human being can have?
I guess to get other people to buy into their vision and to join their team and to build a team of people that can go do something. How many people does Elon Musk have working for him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what Elon Musk couldn't do 1%. Same thing with Jeff Bezos. Those billionaires.
Totally.
Anyone that's a true visionary that started from nothing, and they had to scrap their way up to a certain level, but then at a certain point, the business becomes big enough that it's self-perpetuating in its growth and the team that you put in place, and then it's a matter of vision and just setting goals and executing.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so good there. I'm a big reader of books. I set a goal last year I didn't read books for a long time, and last year I said, okay, I'm going to intentionally start to read more books. Is there a book that you've read in the last, say, year or so that was like, man, this stuff is really good. It was impactful for me.
You bet. Yeah. Contagious. Why things catch on. One of your best forms of advertising is people seeing other people doing, using your services. And that's especially true for us, right?
The last question I like to ask a lot of my guests is what's your message to the world, man?
I think just be nice.
Totally.
Be nice to each other. Yeah, it's so easy to fall away from that.
Yeah, I think that's so good. Be nice, man. It's a great message to the world there. Last fun question there. Who wins in Monopoly, you or Cara?
Depends on what I want the evening to look like afterward.
Totally. That's a great answer to that question.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta let them win,
For sure. That's awesome. That's awesome. Keith, I love what you got going on, man. Carefree Boat Club of North Idaho, man, is such a great program and business. People need to know about this thing, man. I'm definitely going to be looking into this deeper. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Thank you for your service, man. I appreciate everything that you do.
Erik, thank you.
Thank you so much for checking out the show today. I really appreciate it. I hope that my guest was able to bring you some amazing wisdom and knowledge to help you continue to fight for your goals, your dreams, and your purpose. If you could do me one big favor and just hit that subscribe button, I would so appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. Keep changing the world. I believe in you. Have an amazing day.